I am Sarah Better, and this is my persuasive speech. I'm going to try to persuade you to look for signs of child abuse and to report it. Imagine being scared to go home, scared that you will do something wrong that will result in an attack against you. There are many children that are scared to go home because of their physically and emotionally abused. Children who are abused and neglected experience these feelings. Child abuse is shown on the news and in movies, but no one ever thinks they'll come across it personally. I personally know of a few kids that have been taken out of their homes because they have been both physically and emotionally abused. They are put into foster care, and I have seen how the abuse has affected them and is still affecting them as they grow up. However, not all children are removed from their abusive homes and put into a safe environment. Unfortunately, some children still grow up in their abusive homes. Approximately 5 children die every day due to child abuse. 3.6 million cases of child abuse are reported every year in the United States, and 6 million kids are reported in these cases. There are many forms of child abuse. I'm going to tell you about 3 of them: physical abuse, emotional abuse, and neglect. Physical abuse is an act of another party involving contact intended to cause feelings of physical pain, injury, or bodily harm. Emotional abuse is a form of abuse characterized by a person subjecting or exposing others to behavior that may result in anxiety, chronic depression, or post-traumatic stress disorder. Neglect is a pattern of failing to provide for the child's basic needs. Physical abuse can result from severe discipline or a physical punishment that is inappropriate for the child's age. Emotional abuse can result from constant belittling, calling names, making negative comparisons, telling the child they are no good, frequent yelling, and showing no signs of affection. Neglect is normally results from a parent becomes mentally unable to care for his or her child. Many times, alcohol or drugs are the major part in child neglect. There are many warning signs of child abuse that a child can give off. If you notice any of these symptoms, please report it. Physical abuse signs: unexplainable bruising, always waiting for bad things to happen, injuries in a normal cycle, flinches at sudden movement, scared to go home, wears sleeves to cover the bruising. Emotional abuse and neglect: always seem scared of doing something wrong. They're either shy, demanding, or sometimes even aggressive, scared of their own parent, and sometimes they just love being around people that show love and talk to them. If you come across any of these signs, you should report it. This way, the child gets out of the abusive situation. You can get the child and the abuser help. If you do these, you may save the child's life. If you realize if child abuse is taking place, you should ask the child about it. Don't act shocked, otherwise this will scare the child and they won't tell you the rest of their story. Also, if you ask too many questions, it will only confuse the child. Make sure to tell the child it is okay. No child should ever be scared to say that they are being abused. They should know that they shouldn't be getting abused and that they need to get out of their dangerous environment. Most people don't want to turn in cases of child abuse because they don't want to tear apart someone's family. Or they think the parents will find out who turned abuse at them. Or they don't think that it'll make any difference in the child's life. If there is any suspicion, turn it in. Leave it to the professionals to decide. Many people often wonder how people can abuse their children. They mainly abuse their children because they are either stressed, they lack the knowledge of how to raise a child correctly, mental problems, substance abuse, or sometimes because the child isn't their own biological child. The side effects of child abuse are almost always severe, and it can result in death. It also can cause many disabilities and can cause mental retardation. One thing that people never think about is how much child abuse costs. Child abuse annually costs $124 million each year. The estimated average lifetime cost per victim of non-fatal child abuse is $210,000. It also may cost the child their life. Why you shouldn't abuse your children. Child abuse is wrong. You are physically and mentally hurting your child. How can a person repeatedly hit their child to the point where it causes them serious injury? If you know you are an abusive person, don't have children. You will only make your life a nightmare. If you have children, then become abusive, get help. There is help out there for you. However, emotional abuse and neglect are no better. If you become depressed or just no longer can provide for your children and care for your child, find them a safe and loving home so you can find yourself help and get better. Also, if you suspect someone is abusing their children, report it. Don't look the other way and pretend nothing is wrong. The child needs your help. Many children die every day because they're being abused. And many times, either teachers, family members, or friends know about it and they don't report it. Just think of how many lives we can save if we know what to do and to look for if we report it. Child abuse is more than just physical pain. We can see the bruises, but emotional abuse and neglect do just as much damage. The earlier the child abuse is reported, the earlier the child can be saved from the abusive situation. By knowing and understanding how to look for signs of child abuse and know what to do when you suspect it, you can make a huge difference in the child's life, possibly even save it. 3.6 million cases of child abuse are reported each year. The number can be reduced and we have the power. No child should be afraid of their parent. Parents should make their children feel safe and loved.